Sign up for a weekly newsletter about President Donald Trump to be delivered to your inbox every Friday. Donald Trump made it clear at the beginning of his campaign that he wasn't going to follow the normal rules or tone of politics. We're keeping track of all the ways his presidency veers from the norm in terms of policy and rhetoric. Day 270, October 16, when a reporter asked President Donald Trump why, after 12 days, he hadn't called the families of 4 U.S. soldiers who were killed in Niger, Trump offered a novel, and demonstrably false, excuse: other presidents haven't done it. The toughest calls I have to make are the calls where this happens, soldiers are killed, Trump said. So the traditional way, if you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls, a lot of them didn't make calls. I like to call when it's appropriate, when I think I'm able to do it. That's not true. Past presidents, including the one Trump singled out, did make those calls. Many of President Barack Obama's top aides immediately hopped on Twitter to point that out. This is an outrageous and disrespectful lie even by Trump standards. Also, Obama never attacked a Gold Star family. https://t.coach/Newsweek, Ben Rhodes at Rhodes, October 16, 2017. There's also photographic evidence that disproves Trump's claim. Obama photographer Pete Souza, who just can't stop trolling Trump on social media, posted a photo of Obama meeting the family of a fallen Army sergeant at the White House to Instagram. Former WH photographer Pete Souza posts photo of 44 meeting W family of fallen Army sergeant after Pres. Trump says Obama didn't make calls. pic.twitter.com OW68X2KX Michael Del Moro at Mike Del Moro, October 16, 2017. I also photographed him meeting with hundreds of wounded soldiers and family members of those killed in action, Souza added on Instagram. Trump didn't seem too committed to his broadside on the 44th president, however. When a reporter pressed him on his claim, Trump said he was just repeating what other people had told him. And a lot of presidents don't, they write letters, Trump went on. I do a combination of both. Sometimes, it's a very difficult thing to do, but I do a combination of both. President Obama, I think, probably did sometimes, and maybe sometimes he didn't, I don't know, that's what I was told. Carter Sherman. Trump campaign ordered to hand over sexual assault documents in this combination photo. President Donald Trump listens during a meeting on healthcare in the Roosevelt Room of the White House, on March 13, 2017 in Washington, and Summer Zervos, a former contestant on The Apprentice, appears at a news conference in Los Angeles on October 14, 2016, to announce claims that Trump made unwanted sexual contact with her at a Beverly Hills hotel in 2007. AP photos: Pablo Martinez Monsiváis, left, and Ringo H.W. Chu, files with sexual assault allegations against film producer Harvey Weinstein. Roiling Hollywood, a newly reported court filing in New York is pointing the spotlight at another outsized entertainment personality, Donald Trump. A lawsuit on behalf of Summer Zervos, a former The Apprentice contestant who last year accused Trump of sexually assaulting her in 2007, subpoenaed Trump's campaign for all documents relating to her assault accusation, as well as those of any other women who've made similar accusations, including 9 the subpoena names specifically, BuzzFeed News reported. It was just before the election last fall that Zervos first accused Trump of kissing, groping, and humping her when she met him at his bungalow at the Beverly Hills hotel to talk about a job with the Trump Organization. The subpoena was delivered to the Trump campaign in March, but its contents weren't reported until Sunday. The White House and Trump's lawyer did not respond to request for comment for BuzzFeed's story, but Trump denied any and all sexual assault allegations against him last October, following Zervos and at least 10 other women's accusations. Nothing ever happened with any of these women. Totally made up nonsense to steal the election. Nobody has more respect for women than me. Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump, October 15, 2016. The subpoena is the latest round of legal jiu-jitsu between the Trump campaign and Zervos, who's represented by high-profile attorney Gloria Allred. Zervos previously sued Trump for defamation after he denied her allegations, and Trump campaign attorneys have sought to delay or dismiss the subpoena, arguing it is overly broad, politically motivated, and without standing against a sitting president. Josh Marcus Kushner's biggest real estate deal is reportedly falling apart. Jared Kushner, left, and Ivanka Trump arrive at the Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute benefit gala, celebrating the opening of Manu's Ex Machina Fashion in an Age of Technology on Monday, May 2, 2016, in New York. Photo by Evan Agostini and Vision app. Jared Kushner's billion-dollar plans for 666 Fifth Avenue, to make it the crown jewel of his family's New York area real estate empire, are quickly falling apart, New York real estate brokers told Bloomberg. The Kushner Company's partner in the deal, the real estate giant Vornado, is reportedly telling brokers to prepare for a much more mundane offering than the ultra-luxury overhaul that Kushner has been shopping around since his firm bought the building in 2007. Finding financing for the money-losing building has gotten harder since Kushner joined the White House. The Chinese insurance giant Anbang, for example, backed out as a potential partner in March amid public outcry in the U.S. and Chinese government scrutiny. If the 666 Fifth Avenue deal goes south, whopping interest on the loan payments that Kushner took out to pay for the building in 2007 could imperil the whole family and company. Kushner Co. agreed to pay $1.8 billion for 666 Fifth Avenue in 2006, at the height of the pre-recession real estate bubble. Kushner Co. must pay its mortgage, worth more than $1 billion, in full in February 2019, and the firm has reportedly not yet paid a cent of that mortgage. A spokesperson for Kushner Companies denied the thrust of the Bloomberg story in a statement to Vice News. All options are still being assessed, and no decision has been made about which option to pursue, the statement said. Any implication that an agreed-upon path has been reached or that there is contemplation of an outcome that would be to the sole benefit of one party over the other would simply be wrong. Noah Kulwin. How the White House controls Trump, flatter and delay. Washington, D.C. October 13. President Donald Trump speaks to reporters and members of the media on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C. on Friday, October 13, 2017. Photo by Jabin Bots for The Washington Post via Getty Images. White House officials often turn to two tools when trying to work with President Donald Trump: flattery and delay. Delay decisions that could be disruptive and flatter the ego of the commander-in-chief in order to gain favor. That's the current state of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, which Republican Sen. Bob Corker recently called an adult daycare center on Twitter. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster is in the delay camp, according to a new story by The Washington Post. He plays rope-a-dope with him, a senior administration official told the newspaper. He thinks Trump is going to forget, but he doesn't. HR's strategy is to say, "Let us study that, boss." He tries to deflect. He's not the first to take such attack. Sam Nunberg, who used to work for Trump before being fired in 2015, told the Post that when Trump wanted to make a potentially problematic decision, he would ask him if we could possibly wait on it and then reconsider. He said sometimes the decision remained the same and sometimes it didn't. Other top administration officials, however, take the tack of lavishing the president with praise. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin often does this while on television, praising the president's more controversial moves in response to Charlottesville and the NFL players kneeling during the national anthem in protest of police violence. The president also received a daily folder of positive news and headlines about himself. As Vice News first reported in August, Alex Thompson Tillerson will talk to North Korea until the first bomb drops. Despite Donald Trump dismissing diplomacy with North Korea as a waste of time, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Sunday he would continue talking to the regime until the first bomb drops. Tillerson, who earlier this month refused to deny calling Trump a fucking moron, told Face the Nation, "We're going to maintain those diplomatic efforts. As I have commented to others, our diplomatic efforts will continue until the first bomb drops," he said. Tillerson added that Trump supports our diplomatic efforts, despite his October 1 tweet to the contrary. "I told Rex Tillerson, our wonderful Secretary of State, that he is wasting his time trying to negotiate with Little Rocket Man." Tillerson's comments were echoed by Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, who told ABC's This Week the U.S. is not going to beg them to come to the negotiating table. "We need them to stop nuclear testing, and we need that to stop right away," she said. On Fox News Sunday, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster offered a more hardline approach. Trump is not going to permit this regime and Kim Jong-un to threaten the United States with a nuclear weapon. David Gilbert, Day 267, October 13. Trump promises moral clarity as he headlines anti-gay conference. Moral clarity was one of the promises Donald Trump made during his keynote at an event hosted by the Family Research Council, a conservative group known for its virulently anti-LGBTQ, anti-abortion, anti-Islam agenda. Kicking off the three-day conference of conservatives, Trump said the nation's religious heritage would be cherished, protected and defended like you have never seen before under his leadership, and that the country was changing back again, a statement that met with loud applause. Another big reaction came in response to his holiday-themed comments. Trump just declared war on Christmas. Pic.twitter.com Fate Unibasque, Vice News at Vice News, October 13, 2017. The Family Research Council condemns LGBTQ people as sick, perverted, pedophilic, violent, and predatory, and makes no secret of its views. Its website states Family Research Council believes that homosexual conduct is harmful to the persons who engage in it and to society at large, and can never be affirmed. It is by definition unnatural. The organization also believes in abstinence until marriage between a man and woman, which they describe as the expected context for sexual behaviors. Trump's participation in the event, he's appeared there twice before, too, comes a week after Attorney General Jeff Sessions launched a double-pronged attack on LGBTQ rights, first by rolling back Obama-era workplace protections for transgender employees, and second by issuing religious liberty guidelines that could sanction firing someone just because they're gay. Included in the swag bag received by guests was a pamphlet titled The Hazards of Homosexuality. The president is addressing the Values Voter Summit today. Here's what they're giving guests in a swag bag: The Hazards of Homosexuality. Pic.twitter.com. Rusco, David Mack at David Mack. October 13, 2017. Meanwhile, some of the organization's opponents shelled out for protest Snapchat filters. Eyes 2 of the sponsored at Snapchat filters at the Values Voter Summit. Pic.twitter.com. Keep my in for Betsy Klein at Betsy_Klein. October 13, 2017. In addition to Trump, former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon and former advisor Sebastian Gorka will also speak at three-day conference, dubbed a Rogues Gallery of the Radical Right, by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Other speakers include Tony Perkins, the president of the Family Research Council, who says that homosexuality leads to eternal damnation. Roy Moore, the Republican candidate vying for Sessions' empty Alabama senator seat, will also speak. Moore has previously said same-sex parents were detrimental to children, and asserts that Islam is a false religion. To Sunday 266. October 12. Trump's chief of staff says it's not his job to control his tweets. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly said during a surprise press appearance on Thursday that he was not hired to control President Donald Trump's Twitter habits. "I was not brought to this job to control anything but the flow of information to the president," Kelly said while addressing rumors of his status in the administration. "The job of the chief of staff is to staff the president, give him the best advice or go get the best advice I can give him, help him consume advice, help him work through the decision-making process in an informed way. But that's my job." He immediately denied a question about whether Trump's tweets make his job harder. Kelly has only been on the job for about 2 months after replacing Reince Priebus late July, but articles in Washington Post and Vanity Fair this week indicated that his relationship with the president has already soured. "I'm not quitting today," Kelly clarified at the beginning of his speech. "I just talked to the president. I don't think I'm being fired today." Kelly also said of Trump's social media habits that president has a right to defend himself. "Let me just say that when members of Congress say things that are unfair or critical, the president has a right to defend himself," Kelly said in response to questions about Trump's recent feud with Sen. Bob Corker. "Trump is a straightforward guy," Kelly said. Diamond Nagasu.